Right, 5-point preview. We are playing Manchester City at the Etihad on Sunday. It's at 4 p.m. So first thing we'll discuss, boys, is Wayne Rooney. Scored 2 goals again this week. He's now got 200 goals for the club. But the talking point really is that Gabriel Clark gave him a golden opportunity to say, do you know what, I love being at Man United. It's great being here. Everyone loves me. I love it. But when asked about the summer and what had happened, he just kicked off and said, look, I just want to talk about I'm working on my football. Does that matter now? Should we just ignore that, or is that important?
I think last night showed that Wayne Rooney doesn't want to be at the club. His celebrations have been very subdued each time he scored this season. I was actually delighted the reporter did ask him last night. Asked him the questions. Really touched the nerve. I think Moyes did a great job in keeping him at the club this season. I can't see us selling him in January, but I can definitely see him moving on in the summer of next year. But I think what Wayne Rooney is doing now is, before he leaves, he's going to try to prove to everyone that he is the main man, and that can only benefit us.
In my opinion, I don't think there's much else that Rooney could have actually said in that situation. I mean, do we really want him to lie and say that he's happy, he's 100% happy at the club? Or
yeah,
well,
it's no good. It's no good having a player who, after a game, scores his 200th goal for the club and then kicks off at a reporter who says, "Is it nice being here?"
I reckon there are a lot of things that he could have said. He could have whipped out a proper football cliche and just said, "I'm just enjoying my football" and all that. But I don't know. I just can't see Wayne Rooney playing for another football club, to be honest.
No. But he continues to be grumpy. He doesn't want to be there probably, but he's scoring goals, so it doesn't really matter right now. Next up, right, so Manchester City. How big is this game compared to rivalries against the likes of Liverpool and Arsenal? What do we think?
Well, for me, it's still, Liverpool's the biggest game of the season, home and away. For me, always will be, always has been. Obviously in the early 2000s, Arsenal was the big, second rival to Liverpool. But City have kind of, since they've won the league and since they've become really noisy, they become kind of the team that we want to beat next to Liverpool. So for me, it's not the biggest game. It's probably their biggest game, like most clubs. But for us, it's Liverpool. It's still the biggest game of the season for me. City.
Is that the same for you guys?
I really wish I could sit here and say that City isn't the biggest game of the season and Liverpool is, but I'm under the age bracket of people who remember when Liverpool were actually right up there. So for me, the City game has always been the one that I look forward to and dread at the same time the most. So for me, it's the biggest game of the season.
In my opinion, not that it counts for anything, as my mother has told me countless times, City at the moment is a more exciting game because it matters more. Like, we lost the league 2 seasons ago on goal difference. If Liverpool beat us, it's not going to change their season. It might not change our season, really. Those points do add up. But I think if we can take points from City in their home ground, it's a better feeling to me than it is Liverpool. But as I said, it doesn't matter. I think the best we can hope for is that it's as exciting as it was last year without coin throwing. Gaz?
Oh, yeah. Well, if I saw another goal like last year in the last minute like that, it'll be brilliant round there anyway, round Manchester. It'll be buzzing. Really would.
Cool. Okay, boys. Dave, what team would you be starting if you were in David Moyes' shoes?
I would pretty much go with the team that started against Leverkusen, without barring any injuries. I think we were very solid. We moved the ball around well. The only tactical change we may see is that Fellaini may push a little bit further on and Carrick a little bit further back. I think Fellaini did a fantastic job last night covering the back four. And I think in Europe, that's what Moyes is going to use him as. So I would stick with the team that played Leverkusen because, we got momentum now, and I think it was a very solid performance. Yeah, we gave away 2 silly goals, but we weren't really under a lot of pressure for most of the game. The first goal was a fantastic goal. It was one of those unstoppable ones. Second one, bit sloppy. Rio, flapping at it again. But I definitely will go with the team that we beat Leverkusen last night to get the momentum going. So.
Okay, Gaz, what about you?
I completely agree with Dave, to be honest. As soon as that match finished, the first thing...
Gaz, we didn't bring you on here to just copy people. We want original ideas and some sort of insight, not just, I'd do exactly that.
Honestly, though, I do completely agree with Dave, because
I'm sure you do. Where's your backbone?
As soon as that match finished...
Can't go wrong following me, to be honest. He can't go wrong agreeing with me, so,
As soon as that match finished last night, I said, we should start that squad against City, because I think in midfield it was just a really good performance. I thought obviously they had the 2 silly goals, but I think if when we're playing Manchester City, I couldn't see us giving away silly goals like that.
Okay. No place for the likes of Welbeck or Hernandez, anybody starting lineup, or Anderson.
Not for me, no. I reckon Welbeck maybe could make a difference at some point in the game, but you could maybe see Chicharito come on towards the end, wouldn't you, if we were losing 1-0?
Look at that. An idea all of your own. You didn't have to copy
I'm dead
Dave
good,
or
aren't
anything.
I
Yeah, right. Now, Man City. We're talking Man City. Who are we worried about on their side of things? What players scare us? Are there any?
I think from set pieces we got to be very. If Company is fit, I think we got to be very wary of him. He's a pretty decent player. He's pretty good in the air, and he controls the back four pretty well. So, but I think Aguero is the main man. He doesn't seem to like us that much either. I haven't seen a hell of a lot of City over since the new manager took over. They're not having the best of starts. They thought they maybe would have won every game. And they're a team that's kind of trying to gel, but I think the same old are going to be the problem for us, which is Company and Aguero.
Okay, Gaz, what about you? Probably the same, yeah? Maybe an original idea.
I'm actually most fearful towards Yaya Toure, to be honest, because
unacceptable.
I just think he's honest. Yaya Toure, I think he's a great player, and now we've got Fellaini. I think that maybe them two, could cancel each other out in midfield. So. Fingers crossed we can deal with him a bit better today.
I think unfortunately you've just paid. Not unfortunately, that's a lot. It's a lot of pressure on Fellaini, because Yaya Toure is a world-class footballer. I don't like to say it, but he is superb.
But
hopefully
he has world-class hair, so
Yeah, I was going to say Yaya Toure. What's he got going on? Nothing. Yeah. So nobody else. Not worried about any new players they've brought in, or maybe Joe Hart giving some of our players sort of dandruff.
Well, I don't know. I think Joe Hart's come under a lot of pressure the last couple of games, especially with England. But Joe Hart today is not the Joe Hart of a couple of years ago. So
no, it doesn't seem to be.
No, we definitely need to put a lot of pressure on him, put a lot of balls into the box for Fellaini on corners, because he's very susceptible now on crosses and anything that's hit straight at him as well. So pretty much doing his job, he's not that good at these days. So
no. We can go into this one confidently, I think, because we have won there 3 times in the last 5 league meetings, which is something to be proud of. Gaz, score prediction. Go on, I'm asking you first, by the way, so that you can't just...
All right, then.
And I imagine you've got homework to do.
Shut up. I really wish I could sit here and I wish I could say, something silly like 5-0 United, but I reckon it's just going to be a really boring game and it's going to finish 0-0.
My prediction is going to be exactly the same as Gaz, to be honest. I'm only kidding.
Right.
I'm only kidding.
Oh, right.
Superb.
No, I think we're gonna do very well there. I think it could be 2-1 to United, and quite comfortably at that. So.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? Say what you like. I'm saying 3-1. Yeah? I don't care. People right below, what a stupid idea. We're not going to win 3-1. We might win 3-1.
It's possible.
That's where my money's going. I was right on 2-0 against Palace, wasn't I? So, predicting the future. Sorry about that. Right, boys, thank you very much. That was very insightful. Now, finally, before we go, we asked you the other day about doing collaborations we were doing with Mr. Mofo Utball, or Mr. Mo Football, and you sent us skills, suggestions that you wanted him to do, and he's done a Berber flick. Yeah? Watch it. It's fantastic. It will teach you how to do it so you can get down the park. I know Dave is keen to do this one, and you can do it in press with your mates and it'll be superb. So watch that, and also keep an eye out, because on Sunday night we are going to Copper 90 comments below. We'll be on the show. So as I said, keep an eye out for it, subscribe, and you'll get those videos first. Thank you very much. Good night.